Okay, so I don't even know really where to start with this, so I'm just gonna go with it. I am going through a massive transformation right now, and I just got done doing the iShare video, so apparently I'm going to share this with you guys, and it's very deep and very personal, but it's also very powerful. I apologize in advance. The neighbor's kids have like a castle bouncy house, so sorry for hearing that in the background. I just really wanted to be outside today. But okay, so doing the May Mantra Challenge has been amazing for me, period, because I never read for myself. And being a psychic and being a tarot reader, you think that I would, but I don't. I'm always helping other people, and that's just the way I've always been. So to take this time for myself to do these readings has been very enlightening and a wonderful process. But what's even more interesting is that this vacation, this break I said that I was taking, I never decided like, oh, I'm going to take a break. I kept getting messages from my guides, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. Had no idea at the time that it was correlating with the new moon and the solar eclipse and this 5-5 portal and like a lot of astrological energy. And yeah, so I have some pretty crazy things happening to me. As I told you guys, I've been in constant communication with my ascended masters, and been directed and guided to the Akashic records over and over and over again. And I'm gonna try not to get too emotional in this one, but I really want to tell you guys why and what's going on with me. So for the first couple days in this challenge, I kept pulling the Judgment card, and as I was reading myself, intuitively I was getting the notion that I was judging myself too harshly, and I kept getting the Hangman to find a new perspective, and this was happening over and over and over again. Now I just got a reading done myself that really kind of added on to all of this, and it, without this person knowing anything, it all revolved around everything that I've already been pulling and finding out about myself and meditating on in a much deeper sense. Okay, so I have been judging myself too harshly, so harshly that my inner self can't shine through. And this is actually causing me a solar plexus imbalance. And this is important, and I'm going to tell you why. So I am going through a life-altering change. My soul wants to express itself and to be felt and to be seen, but it's being held back by judgment. What's even more crazy is I just made those videos about embarrassment, which goes straight to judgment, because when you're judging yourself a lot, you think other people are judging you a lot, therefore lived my life around embarrassment. I'm going to get to the root of this and explain to you where all this judgment comes from, and about this rebirth, because it's pretty insane. Okay, so who I really am is trying to emerge, but I have been holding it back through judgment. Now, I just made a video introducing myself to a lot of you, but I'm still editing it. Hopefully I get it out before this one will make a lot more sense. But my sun is in the 12th house, which means my identity, my ego, has actually been hidden. That's where things are locked away, they go to die. So I've been fighting with trying to find my identity for as long as I can remember. And I have a lot, but I have a lot more to go. Healing doesn't happen overnight. You don't meditate on it once, get a good cry, and it's gone, unfortunately. It's a work in progress. But my soul is ready to be discovered and heard and fully expressed, okay? And this judgment of myself, which I already called myself out on, is holding me back, okay? And my soul just wants to have fun, but old conditioning, programming, and society has been clouding my ability to have fun, which is so true. Even on this vacation, when I'm home around my kids, I always feel like I'm supposed to be doing something. I'm always judging myself on what I'm doing or what I'm not doing, but it's so much deeper than that, okay? And there is a little meditation that I had to do that I will share with you guys after, but okay, let me explain. So I just got done making the video about how before I knew I was clairaudient, I kept hearing, do you want to have a baby? Well, there's more things over time that I've heard, and one of them is when I'm going to die. And I only ever mention this to my husband and like 2 select people. And I have, without wanting to know the death of my neighbor that was coming, I've known about a family member of mine, things that I don't want to know. It's why it's one thing that I can do, but I don't, is I don't let people know anything about death. I can even tell in your birth chart where you're going to die, how you could die, and psychically I know when, but that is something I don't mess with. But for as long as I can remember, any time that I thought about my own passing, we all do it, you know? Anytime I thought about when I was going to pass, I would always hear 36. Now I say here, but back then I thought I was telling myself, you know, but now I know that I was hearing it. And in my teens and my 20s, even when I met my husband, I told him, and I just kind of laughed it off. But guess what? I'm going to be 36 in a month. And there's just so many weird coincidences happening this last year since I actually started professionally reading and coming out as psychic. I have had severe stomach issues from my root chakra all the way up to my throat chakra. I have a lot of serious problems, and I mentioned it to you guys, some of my flare-ups and attacks that I've had, but I don't really talk about it anymore, not even to my own family, because to be honest, it's getting to the point where it's scary. It's scary. I'm on a ridiculous amount of medication. I've had to make some major life changes, the way that I eat, the way that I live, the way that I sleep. I've had to quit a lot of habits. I don't even really have anything to control my anxiety or stress these days. And so part of this break was to just kind of help me get over all I've been able to think about is death. Like, seriously, it's been on my brain a lot. And then my friend was telling me, oh, you know, that new Marilyn Monroe show comes on Netflix. I watched it. She died 2 months after her 36th birthday. I've been getting so many weird signs. And then, you know, telling myself that I control, you know, I'm the one who's going to control this. So I've been working extra hard at taking care of my body, taking care of myself, and going to the doctors, getting all these tests and procedures done to figure out how this can be healed, right? And then I watched this elderly woman who's like an elderly teal swan, and there's a video about our bodies trying to tell us something when something like this is going on, right? And mainly it is my solar plexus chakra. This is where a majority of my pain is. Lately it's gone into my spleen, which is actually this side, my heart chakra, but it starts in my esophagus and my throat chakra all the way down to my colon and my root chakra. The only things that are open and not imbalanced right now are my third eye and my crown chakra. These are like overactive, on point. The rest is it needs some work. Okay, so here I am, you know, not afraid to die. I have died in dreams. I know more about death than most people should. I guess that's a story for another time, but I'm not afraid to die. I think I'm afraid of how my family is going to handle that. I think there's just a lot of things that go in your head. That's why I will never, ever, ever tell anybody that. Like, if you get a lot of Scorpio placements like me and you're morbid and you're interested about it in your birth chart and you ask me, I'll do a birth chart reading and I'll throw that in there, but I don't like broadcast it because it's really not something that is going to help anybody. For example, my Pluto is in my 4th house, which is home and family. So chances are pretty good when I do, it's going to be at home. And then there's another placement that actually explains that I could pass from a rare blood disorder, and I've actually just been referred to a hematologist for some blood issues. Now, funnily enough, I'm going to explain this whole death thing a bit more, but just bear with me. My death, according to my birth chart, is likely unexpected, quick, and painless. Thank you. People with the placement that I have pass very unexpectedly from a bizarre accident, shocking everyone around them. It could even be related to friends. I could die at the same time as some of my friends while I'm with a friend, etc. stay aware of my surroundings and strive not to act with too much haste. But like I said, it could also be a rare blood disorder or yada yada yada. So up until this reading that I had today and the ones I've been doing for myself about this judgment, also in my 4th house is not just my Pluto, it's my moon. Okay, in 4th house, like I said, it's your roots, it's your family, it's your home life, but it's also your mother. And my moon is also in my 4th house, so it's like a double dose of mother. I've even made some videos about some issues with my mother. And then my Pluto and my moon are conjunct within like a degree, both in Scorpio. So Pluto in Scorpio, right next to the moon, mom, all in the 4th house. There's a lot going on here, right? And a lot of this judgment comes back to these placements. My South Node is in Libra, but it's right next to Scorpio. It's in the 4th house. It's right next to all of these placements, right next to the Pluto, right next to my moon, right next door to Scorpio. And so what I realized today is this death that I have heard about at 36 for as long as I can remember might not actually be a physical. It could be, and this is my premonition video. If anything happens to me, I said so first. But with my sun in the 12th house, hidden, locked away, personality trying to come out, and then all of this judgment I'm putting on myself is blocking my self-expression. It's blocking my ability to be joyful and to just enjoy life. I have imbalances from my root, sacral, solar plexus, and throat chakra. And this is all coming back to judgment I have on myself. It's all coming back to my South Node, to my 4th house placements. It's like this huge, these ascended masters have brought into the Akashic record so I could figure this out. The death that I'm about to experience isn't even an ego death. It is a piece of me, is literally a piece of me, not like my physical self. For the first time in a long time, I'm not afraid to turn 36, not entirely. Something is really about to be reborn in me. And I mean, that's always exciting, but at the same time, we always mourn that part of us, you know, regardless of what it is. But it's like, growing up, my mother was very protective in the sense that she was afraid of everything and kind of taught me to be afraid of everything. I had to live, act, breathe, speak, and do everything in a certain way or I would be judged, you know. So it's like, so I'm constantly judging myself, even when I don't realize that it's something that's become a part of who I am. And I'm starting to realize that I can heal these imbalances with a lot of this healing. And funnily enough, next summer I'm going to have my second nodal return. So I'm sure, you know, if I make it to 37, that there's going to be a lot of changes then. But between now and then, I feel like, and I even have a phoenix tattoo I got in my early 20s. I am about to literally be reborn from the ashes. A part of me is about to die, so I can be myself. So I can be the me that I never knew how to be. It's like, it's crazy. It's crazy. And all of these health issues I have that are getting more severe the more into my spirituality I get, is my body and the universe screaming at me to heal these judgments, to align myself, to release these judgments on myself so I can find myself. So I'm about to go through some sort of a death process. It came up a couple times in the readings I just did for myself in the main mantra. So this is just beyond crazy. I've instinctively been walking around with selenite. I never walk around with selenite. So weird. Thing about our South Node is you have to master it before you can let it go. You have to really understand it. And for me, with my South Node being in my 4th house, home and family, and then the individual's relationship with the maternal figure, with my mother, it's really releasing those judgments, like that reading on myself said. on society, on programming, conditioning, I can't shine, I can't be myself, and my soul is dying to do that, and it's going to. It's like I'm about to, I don't know, there's a major shift coming in my life, and yeah, it's absolutely terrifying. But I mean, being a healer isn't all easy, isn't it? It's not all fun and games. It's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. But if I can actually work on healing my physical ailments by healing my self node, by healing my childhood, by healing my past life. I'm almost 36 years old, and I'm still realizing that I'm not allowed to be myself yet. Like, I made the video the other day, the comment about I feel weird leaving the house with that nose ring. I thought, going into my daughter's preschool, what would other people think? And then I watched a woman pick up her kid with a much bigger one than mine. And I'm like, why do I care? And then these videos about embarrassment, all these videos about judgment. The universe is screaming at me. And the day before Mother's Day, I get the message loud and clear. Loud and clear. Now, what are my next steps? How do I do this? How do I release all this judgment of myself so I can find this joy, so I can be me, so my identity isn't hidden. The best part about it is your draconic birth chart is your soul's map, and my sun is still in the 12th house. So my actual soul is still struggling to find the identity, the ego, to understand it. You know, gosh, I'm going to start being me on the whole new level that I never even knew existed, and I'm so excited for it. I'm excited to heal myself, because that's scary, but it's literally going to require some form of death. A part of me is about to die. Now, funnily enough, my sun is in the 12th house, but it is in a harmonious aspect with my North Node. So it's nice to suddenly feel like, because without even trying, I've been thinking all the time about dying, about death. Like, all the time it's just coming in my head without even trying. And I've been sick for more than a year now, but just recently, as I approach my 36th birthday, like, this panic and this fear sets in. Like, I have so much more to do, you know, and how is everybody else going to handle that, especially if it's at home and it's sudden, you know, right? But apparently my Ascended Masters and the Akashic Records are telling me I am not done yet. And yeah, you're all going to stick around and get to see my rebirth and the quest. And I mean, the nose ring was the start. I don't even know what else I'm going to do, who I'm going to be, as long as I can release this judgment from myself, I guess, so I can be happy in the present and in these little moments, and not always feel bad about myself for what I'm doing or not doing, or, like when I was growing up, like constantly being judged or judging myself or wondering what other people think. Since I had my first son when I was 16, I had to worry about what I did, because, people are nosy, and if somebody said something, I could have lost him. So I've always been imprinted that if I behave in a certain way, I could lose something. Time to let that go, huh? Well, thanks for listening if you made it this far through. I'm going to go and finish my my introduction video so I can share that with you, and then share this with you, and who knows what's to come. Who knows? But these shifts, these astrological shifts, are absolutely insane. And Monday I do come back from my vacation, which I said I wanted to work on my spiritual journey. Well, it worked on me. But my motto is always, let my soul help your soul uncover what the universe is trying to tell you. Maybe that's not always for me reading to you. Maybe that's you following my journey as well. But I am open to readings. I am booked pretty much for this first week through, but if you need a reading, my Etsy shop's about to be back open, website's up, back on keen, and yeah, let's see what happens together. Love, light, and blessings, guys.